everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and in case you are new here, most of you know, most of you who watch this particular video know who I am. So welcome to another Weight Watchers on a Budget video. So today's video is going to be a wrap up of January. So I'm going to show you how much I spent in the month of January on groceries for Weight Watchers only, and what I spent overall for everything else. And then also how much all my meals cost. So for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time for this series, what I have been doing is just keeping track of how much I spend on my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. My particular snacks, usually I put my coffee into that since I don't drink my coffee with my meals. Those are considered a snack, and that's how I track them in my Weight Watchers app. So however I track it in my Weight Watchers app is how it goes into these categories, because that's what I use. I use that in my planner and they always match. So anyway, that's how all that comes out. Little explanation on the grocery budget. Again, in case you are new, for the Weight Watcher only side, those are foods that, of course, are only Weight Watcher friendly. I do throw all the produce in there. And then also, in case you don't know, it's me, and I have me and my husband and 2 teenage boys. My 2 teenage boys do typically eat most of what I eat as far as the Weight Watcher friendly meals. My husband is allergic to poultry, so anything that is with turkey and chicken he cannot eat, but he does eat the fruit and vegetables and salads and those kinds of things. So in the Weight Watcher only column, that feeds anywhere between 3 to 4 people on a regular basis. The other column also includes, so I'm trying to decide, I think I'm going to do it this way for January. I think for February I'm going to do it a little bit different for the second column, because right now everything is in there but the Weight Watcher friendly food. So that means shampoos, conditioners, soap, hairspray, laundry soap. I mean, everything else that we buy goes in that column, plus all the foods that are not Weight Watcher friendly that my family eats. So my husband loves Hostess cupcakes, so I buy 2 of those a week for him. He drinks a lot of Coca-Cola soda, and so he goes through usually like 3 to 4 packs, 12 packs of that a week. So all that goes in there. A lot of my son's lunch stuff, a lot of that is Weight Watcher friendly, but since I don't eat it at all, I only put the ones over there because I guess anything could be Weight Watcher friendly. So I guess there's a little bit of confusion with that as well in my head. So like the granola bars that I buy for my son to take to school for lunch, I've been counting those in the Weight Watcher column, but I have not eaten one of those this entire month. So I don't know if I should continue to add those in there, and if maybe the Weight Watcher only side should be things that I eat only, because that's what the food is. You know, when I tell you guys this is how much I spent on breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, that is basically things, that's the only things, those are just my meals. So I think I'm going to kind of start doing it a little bit different that way. Plus so I think just seeing these numbers has caused me to think I want to kind of budget a little bit differently. So I think that Weight Watcher only column is going to be anything I eat plus what the family eats, but it's only going to be foods that I eat. So if there's granola bars that you know, sure, there's 5 points a piece, but I don't eat them. So my son only eats them. And the same thing with like the packs of chips and stuff. I mean, now the baked chips I do eat, but I bought a big case of the regular chips and a case of baked chips, and I put them both under Weight Watcher friendly and just had the points out for them. So I think I'm going to start kind of separating that a little bit, so I kind of have a better idea of how much it's costing me to eat, plus then all the produce and things like that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. And then I am going to have a separate column for household, just so I can kind of get an idea how much it's costing for those types of things and how much of it is, you know, other food items. So I think I'm going to start kind of separating things out like that. Like there's like cans of like my husband and my stepson like the chunky soups, so I have those in that other column. I do, what else? Macaroni and cheese they like to have every once in a while. There's like refried beans. I do get the fat-free, but I don't eat them. I just eat regular pinto beans whenever we have like tacos and stuff. So I put things that I don't eat in that column. So I think I'm going to shift that and do everything that I don't eat is going to go into that column, even if they're technically Weight Watcher friendly. So I think you guys probably understand what I'm trying to get to here. So anyway, and then as far as the breakdown of breakfast, lunch, and dinners, those are my meals only. So this is per person. This is for one person. So when you guys see the totals, keep that in mind. So I am going to put slides up in this video so you can kind of see the visuals. Everybody's been really liking those, so I will have those go up periodically through there. Now, I did not do the last 4 days of the month. I mean, you'll see them on the charts, but I'm not going to go through those because it's not a full week, but you'll see them on the charts, and I just wanted to do a whole wrap up for the month. So for the month of January, I spent $760.99 on Weight Watchers only groceries. And then I spent $588.28 for household, all that other stuff I just got done talking about. So it's a total of $1349.27. I feel like that's really high. So I really want to try to bring that down for the month of February. And so I really hope I can by just shopping deals, shopping, maybe using coupons. I used to be like an extreme couponer, and it just took too much work. I wasn't working at the time that I did it, and so it was a lot easier. But anyway, I really feel like I can bring that $13.49 down. So that'll be this is my kind of my base right now, and I just want to go lower from here. So that is my goal. So I really hope I can meet that. And the beginning of each month, I do a big grocery shop, and that's what I tried last month, and I spent only $300. And I did find that by the 4th week, so by like last weekend when I went shopping, which was the last shop of January, I spent, I think, and you'll see it on the chart, I think it's $178. It's because I ran out of meat, I ran out of some canned goods, so I did not do very good with the shopping for the month. So I went shopping again today, and I feel like I did a little bit better, especially for the meat. I did not for the canned foods. I wasn't feeling really well last night, and so I was kind of finalizing my list. So I'm going to do the rest of the canned foods next week. So I mostly did meat today and a few canned foods. So, but I feel like I'm going to, these first 2 weeks of February, I'm going to really get everything I need, and hopefully all you'll see in my grocery hauls for the last 2 weeks are going to be produce and perishables, and then any items for new recipes that I want to try. So that is my goal. So I'm hoping by the time we talk again at the end of February to do a wrap up, my total will be less than $13.49. I will still have the columns because I don't think I'm going to get a true representation of this $13.49 for next month because I'm pulling out that household column. So I'm just going to have the different columns and add them together. But then from then on out, I'll kind of have my food columns. So I think you'll understand once you see this as it progresses. Okay, so let's get into the meals. I spent for the total month of January on just my meals for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, include coffee, everything else, was $298.35 and an average of $9.62 per day. So I think that's pretty good. I feel like looking at all the different prices of how much everything cost, I feel like I did really good. So we'll see. We'll see as it progresses throughout the year. For breakfast, I spent $35.73. For lunch, I spent $86 and a penny. For dinners, $91.03. And for snacks, $69.15. Breakfast is the cheapest. So like this week, I do have breakfast for dinner written into the menu. I think I'm going to start doing that once a week, and I might just mix it up a little bit. It's not, of course, going to be, because the dinner I feel like needs to be a little bit heartier, but maybe for the family. But for me, I don't feel like I need to have like that extra, like say French toast, which is usually what I do for the family whenever I do breakfast for dinner. I feel like I'll be just as satisfied with my normal breakfast. So I'm going to start doing that a little bit more. And but what I find interesting is the snacks, because really the only thing I ever have for snacks are fruit, coffee, and maybe a yogurt here and there, an applesauce. That's typically my snacks. And so I spend a lot on coffee, but you know what, guys? That's really my only like kind of indulgence, if you even call it that. I use coffee as kind of my dessert too. So at night, when I'm kind of craving something, I just drink a cup of coffee and that takes that craving away. I don't have to try to find something else, you know, and possibly, you know, use more points. So especially if I'm at a point, so that coffee is a low point, I can do 1 point and there you go, and I'm done and it satisfies me. So, but it's just interesting to see how much it actually costs. And I think eventually I need to find my little K-cup that you can refill. And I think eventually I need to go that route and I'll see that number go down quite a bit. So that may be something as it progresses, you know, maybe can start working on that. The cheapest breakfast was only 59 cents. And that was the day I had 2 hard-boiled eggs, some strawberries, and tomatoes. Cheapest lunch was $1.23. That's when I made a chef salad from home, and I actually did use like romaine and iceberg lettuce instead of using the salad kits. And I believe it had a hard-boiled egg. It had then just some, you know, I had some bell pepper, some green onion. I think I might have had a quarter of an avocado. And then some salad dressing, and then I think I had some like cherry tomatoes or something on the side. So it came only to $1.23. The cheapest dinner was 53 cents, and that was egg roll in a bowl. The egg roll in a bowl is so economical. Now, it's not something I could eat every single day. I mean, it's you know, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, I really like it, and I am going to have it again this week, but it's not like something that I could have every day and think, okay, well, I can, you know, eat on this the entire week. I can't with that, but it is very, very economical, depending on the price you get on your turkey. Now, that week that I made it, I got the turkey for $2.49. Now, again, this week, I was able to get turkey for $2.99 for the whole package. So I think it just depends. Also, it's going to depend on the price you get for your turkey. But anyways, at 53 cents, you can't beat it. It's an excellent meal, so I highly recommend it. So there you go if you're looking for a cheap meal. Now, the most expensive breakfast was $2.26, and that was for one of the pitas, the egg sausage and turkey pitas with a yogurt and a banana. And that as a convenience food, so we can't really be surprised by that. But I do enjoy those. But what I've been doing is limiting myself. So I used to buy a package every week. But if I really want to try to save money, I bought 2 packages today, and that has to last me for the month. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I did last month for January. I bought 2 packages, and that's all I had for the entire month. So that is my goal, is just to, with things like that I really want, that convenience food, I am going to limit myself on them. So the most expensive lunch was $5.21. Again, kind of a convenience food. It was the chicken skewers that I get at Costco, but I love those, and I meant to pick some up today and I forgot. I do love to have those on hand because they are a great, super easy lunch. My son loves them too, and he loves to take them to school for lunch, so I'll probably pick some up next weekend. And they do last us a couple weeks. You can throw them in the freezer and just pull them out as you need them. I think you get 12 in a package, and 2 of them are, is it 2 that is serving size? Yeah, I believe so. Anyway, yeah, and that's what I like to do, is just pull them out, and by the time lunchtime comes along, they're thawed out. So, but that was $5.21 for his skewers. I had hummus, vegetables, and you'll have a picture. I can't remember everything else. I think I had a little cheese. The most expensive dinner was $5.26, and this was a recent one that we talked about, and this was the spaghetti squash and chicken sausages with a salad. And the spaghetti squash is very expensive here this time of year. So what I talked about that I think I'll start doing, I love to have spaghetti squash, but I think until I see the price come down or until our farmers markets open up, I probably won't purchase it again, because it was like $3.79 a pound. So I think I spent, I think it was like $4 or $4 or $5 or something for that spaghetti squash. It was highly expensive, and it's probably just something I need to just shop for seasonally. And I probably could even, when they are really cheap at our farmers markets, I could pick up a few of them, bake them up, scrape them, and put the stuff in the freezer. And that's probably exactly what I will do, especially since in June and July, I don't work Fridays, so I have 3-day weekends and I can do that kind of thing. So those are the kind of things I'll be looking at to try to save money. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this month of tracking. all my groceries and my food. And I know when you guys see those totals, some people are going to think it is super high, and I think it is too. But I think I need to learn to budget my food, and I'm not going to be able to do that until it is right in my face and I am able to see how much I'm spending. It's just too easy to kind of, brush it off throughout the week when you're buying groceries. But when you see it in your face and it's right there and you realize what you're spending your money on and how much you're spending, and that there's corners that can be cut, and also any food that you're throwing away each week and wasting. So thankfully, I have 2 teenage boys, 17 and 19. That food does not go to waste here very often. And any leftovers for dinners and lunches, they have for lunch the next day. My stepson lives at home, so he just eats it for lunch. So, I mean, we have no waste of our food, but there's still corners that I could cut for sure. Anyway, so I'm going to do this again for the month of February. And like I said, I'm going to, kind of mix things up with my groceries, or my keeping track of how much I'm spending on groceries. So hopefully that changes a little bit, and hopefully we see it go a little bit less. So if you have any questions, let me know and I will answer them down below. And please let me know that you like this video by giving it a thumbs up, and I will talk to you all next week in another Weight Watchers on a Budget video. Bye guys.